All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Daily High. I am your only host for the day, Tone Base. Matt McGregor is moving over to Japan and is unable to join the stream. So we're going to go straight to the charts where we'll see what's going on and keep it a nice and tight, short show. As you all know, this is the halving week and the halving month. On a big scale picture, we are currently sitting higher than I expected we would be when the year began. So even though we have fallen approximately $10,000 from the all-time high area, when you look back a year ago and the price of Bitcoin was sitting at under $30,000, we have done pretty well. I think this year is going to continue to do well, even with this short-term little drop. The weekly chart, I can't see the wick on here because of the halving line, but the current week is not looking good at all. We are looking at a new weekly low close. I remain bearish as long as that is the case. I need strength to be bullish once again. And this candle so far is not installing any confidence that we are going to reverse this until we hit the next level moving average, which is it should be the 20-period moving average on the weekly chart. My allocation chart has been significantly reduced. Yesterday we were rising back up to 64,000. It was looking kind of good for a minute, but as I've stated several times on the last few streams, I would need Bitcoin to get above both moving averages. I will not get excited until Bitcoin rallies above $66,000. The daily chart is sitting right at very critical support. We have been here once before, and we rallied off of that candle, so we had a chance to rally higher. Had to mute for a second. So we had a chance to rally higher. That did not materialize. We never crossed back over the 50-period moving average, and therefore I now remain bearish. However, the good news is we are now 3 days away from an MRI buy, and also the halving is coming. Once the halving arrives, there will be less new Bitcoin entering the system. So there should be, more buying pressure on Bitcoin to give it a chance to spike up. But that will still take several months after the halving before that, less Bitcoin entering the system, becomes a part of the system. Here is the 1 hour chart. The 1 hour chart was looking promising off of this green star candle as we were going above 64. But as I've stated last stream, unless we are pushing above 66,000, I'm not getting overly excited. But there is good news on the short-term chart. If we make a significantly visible lower high, and we probably will, I'm going to delete this line, and I can now delete this line. They are no longer that useful. I'll also turn this into a 4 hour chart for ease of use. I can now draw a descending triangle here. That looks something like this. Very clean descending triangle. And the target of this triangle is not pretty, but this is why my allocation is reduced. Triangle should, of course, be red. That looks like $6,000. That sucks, doesn't it? You can also do it by percentage. And this would take us to 55,000, which is my low-end target. my low-end target is approximately $6,000. This would be the target from the triangle. So here's the good news. The good news is that as the price of Bitcoin, if the price of Bitcoin drops, doesn't have to reach the target, but at least goes halfway down the target, or even a third of the way down the target, what I can now do is I can lower my area of where I become bullish, and that area now becomes 64,000 instead of 66,000. So that's the only good news I can give you, that if we crash, then you start to lower your bullish conviction from that on out. Clearly, the ascending triangle never materialized, which is unfortunate. And now we're working on a descending triangle. Peek at oil. Oil is at an MRI weekly warning, so it's pulling back a little bit. Gold is on a weekly MRI top. S&P continues to pull back, and I do think that it can pull back to the prior all-time high before reversing and going higher. I remain overall bullish on the stock market. And I remain bullish on the US dollar. I think the US dollar will hit a new all-time high. Though to hit an all-time high, it really needs to go higher because it used to be a lot higher back in the day. At the very least, I expect it to hit a new swing high to break the 22 highs. And I think as more concerns around the world happen, more and more people will be finding safety in the US dollar. All right, that's pretty much it for me. Please like, subscribe, follow us on social media. There'll be more shows coming to this channel. I will be talking about these charts one after the halving. And what is this? Oh, that's the original. This is the current path to the halving. As you can see, this has been the longest time we ever spent between halvings. So I guess extra mining hash rate is not coming online as quickly as before. And this is the future path. I already made a chart for the future path. Notice there's a big difference here. To line up the bear market, you have to start your very first price of Bitcoin lined up with the halving, and lined up how many days, because Bitcoin had no price for the first year and change. And that lines up with the bear market. To line up with the bull market, you line it up from when Bitcoin got its first price. So that's a big difference here, right? Because there's a whole year that took place before Bitcoin found the price. But the reason why I'm comfortable starting this chart when the price began and not a year later is because it's in a bull market, you have to start when the price begins, not when the Genesis block began. So because it's the price that drives the all-time high in price. And this top completely lines up, and hopefully these dates will fill in as time passes further. And we still have a whole year to go before the cycle lines up for a Bitcoin all-time high. So really, really cool chart. Can't wait to have this black line start moving. And the halving is scheduled for this Friday, New York time. All right. That's it for me. Unless I missed something, I'm glancing at your live chat, and I don't think so. So thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next one. I remain very concerned and bearish in this market across all time frames, unless there's somehow a magical rally. All right, hopefully Matt McGregor is back on tomorrow's stream. and I will see you all on the next one. Check out the in-person financial summit and follow us across